1 year after a cane in your corner investigation, sex abuse victims in Warren County are still fighting for justice. They say the former sheriff raped them and then the county covered it up. Tonight, News 12's senior investigative reporter Walt Kane uncovers shocking new details about the county's conduct. A warning for you tonight, this story may be disturbing to some viewers.
As Warren County commissioners met this week, protesters demanded justice for the survivors of a man who was sworn to serve and protect, but who allegedly victimized young boys.
We deserve our dignity. I mean, the fact that they refuse to acknowledge and accept or apologize, they've condoned it.
It's been a year since we first told you the disturbing details in a cane in your corner investigation. Sheriff Edward Bullock, accused of repeatedly raping young boys at the county youth shelter.
It hurt. I was in pain. It just didn't seem like it ended.
It's something you never forget. You know, it's been etched in my whole life, the whole time.
And our investigation found county officials were warned about Bullock's behavior, but took no action. One sheriff's officer even says Bullock's conduct was a running joke. He says people would see him walking down the hall with a boy and snicker and laugh about it.
What is the Bullock case showing? Well, you guys can do whatever you want to do and there's going to be a limited consequence? That's showing the wrong message. It's unacceptable. We need to do better for our children.
And in the past year, Cane in Your Corner has learned Warren County has continued to engage in conduct child abuse advocates call unacceptable. As we reported, the county repeatedly hired experts to testify that because the victims came from troubled homes, being raped would not have done them any more damage.
The notion that any child was already so far gone that we don't need to worry about the rapes by someone in their universe it's both scientifically incorrect, but it's also just cruel.
And court records obtained by Cane in Your Corner show one of the county's own experts agrees. Dr. Stephen Simring examined one of the victims on behalf of the county. In a sworn deposition, Simring says the county attorney told him, "Look, this is a damaged person, but we didn't do it. He was damaged to begin with." Simring says, "I did not conclude he would have ended up the same way." He says being raped by Bullock made a very great difference. Simring says when he delivered his findings to the county attorney, he asked me to politely withdraw from the case.
For a human being to say something like that, you know, these kids come from problem families, so, you know, they're already damaged, they're throwaway kids. If they've been raped and assaulted and abused, well, it's not really going to affect them. It's unconscionable for someone to even say that.
Warren County officials have consistently insisted they cannot talk about the case because it's in court. But victims like WM say what bothers them even more is that to this day, no one from the county has even acknowledged the horrible abuse they suffered.
Warren County has never condemned the actions publicly, no administration, no elected official. They did whatever they could to keep this from coming to light.
I asked commissioners about that this week.
So my question tonight is, are you tonight finally willing to publicly acknowledge and condemn the abuse that these victims suffered?
Any comment on this, Mr. King?
You can't condemn child sex?
Sir, I'm not going to allow any outbursts from the public. If you'd like to make a
The
comment, you
allegations
can come up.
are in the Superior Court where they're properly venued, and that's where it will be decided.
Important question from you, of course, Walt. Unbelievable story. Advocates are clearly outraged by the county's claim and argue that the arguments that the victims would not have been damaged by being raped. Did you have a chance to speak to that defense expert?
I did. I was able to speak to Dr. Simring. It was, Brittany, a pretty brief conversation. He is still technically under an agreement with the county, so he says he can't talk to me about his findings unless the county gave him permission to do that, and obviously, since he is basically shooting down their defense, that's not something that's going to happen.
Hopefully the county will say something at some point. We know you'll keep asking those questions.
Certainly
Walt,
will.
thank you.